Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And today we are checking out the Kitfox Speedster Series 7 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the Kitfox Speedster Series 7 for MSFS by addon has finally hit the sim marketplace. Now, this is a really cool little aircraft. Now, I want you guys to also keep your expectations in line with according to price, to current availability of features, and then we'll go ahead and go and fly the aircraft and see what it's all about. I have yet to get this aircraft airborne. We're going to be doing that for the first time together, so that way you guys get my genuine first impressions as always. You know that I really want to be real careful using the word review. I'm not going to call it a review. I know I still tend to say it out of habit, but I want to just keep it as my impressions, okay? Because again, all of these things with any of these aircraft are subjective from one user to the other. So this does require the sim marketplace application in order to be installed. However, you can download it manually from the app. Now, here's what I want you guys to pay attention to. Pay attention to the add-on includes, and then make sure you watch for the note, and then the known issues. Now, I can tell you that this developer gave me a copy of this aircraft 3 days ago, and since then has already put out 2 hot fixes. So he's very much so into this airplane and really wants to see it do well. One of the things that I'm super excited about, guys, to be completely blunt here, is the price. The price is right where it should be for an aircraft like this. And you guys will understand what I'm saying. And that is not to say the aircraft sucks. Okay. Like I said, we haven't even flown it yet. I'm just saying for what the aircraft is designed to do, what it's all about, the style of aircraft that it is, it's perfect. And it's got some really awesome features and different things that are available for it. One of the things that you guys want to be aware of is that the 750 integration, though has a problem currently, it's under known issues, it's still coming. Okay, so these are things that they're aware of, that they're working on. Same thing with a fuel flow issue. I think I know what that is. I did try to start the aircraft, and when I turned the fuel pumps back off, the engine terminated. So I think you just need to leave the fuel pumps on for now. Everything else will sort of dial in as we get going, and we'll see what it's all about. So a link to the aircraft will be down in the description below, and let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so getting back to our beautiful bird here. It looks slick, absolutely slick. I really love this design. It's very, very interesting. I've never seen an aircraft that has the control surfaces down below the actual surface of the wing. You know, you always see the ailerons attached to it. These are actually the ailerons here. And I think the flaps drop down from below that is what I saw, but maybe not. We'll have to check that out when we come time to use flaps. Overall textures, guys, they're right on par with Microsoft Flight Simulator, everything that we would expect to see. Ironically enough, it's very funny because X-Plane 12 launched today and I was messing around with it. And, you know, one of the things that I said was I think that I liked the aircraft, the way the aircraft, specifically the aircraft, the Cessna 172 that I was flying earlier looks, but now coming back to MSFS, I don't know. The cockpit looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, the detail is very, very nice. There's a couple spots, again, and you guys know how I do this. If you can spot them, then great, but I'm not going to point out the ones that I have already noticed. I do point them out. Okay, I don't do that on every aircraft. I point those out when it's like bad, right? When it's like, why did you put this out? You knew better. You knew this stuff was going to get called out. This one's not like that. When it's just a couple things here and there and I'm just being nitpicky, you know, I'm going to leave those alone and see if you guys track them. If you do, great. If not, even better. That just means that you're going to enjoy the cockpit even more. Now, one of the things that I will say that I am not happy about right out of the gate, the aircraft, as I said, does install via the Sim Market app. And what I was unable to find in the installation directory is any kind of documentation telling me how to operate the aircraft. There's the notations that we saw up on the website as far as the smoke goes, which the smoke switch is right there. Flip that switch, the smoke comes on. We'll mess around with that a little bit later on. But there isn't any documentation or an in-game checklist telling me how to start this aircraft. I don't like it when developers do that. You got to put that out there. I think that's critical, especially if you're trying to create that true, genuine simulation experience. Yes, we can do the Control E to start it. I'm going to try to start it without doing that. I did the Control E earlier, but we're going to try that without it now here. So let's see here. I think I can figure this out. So you got your master battery, lane A and lane B. That sounds like bus A and bus B. So we're going to throw both of those on. Now let's see here. I'm going to turn my nav lights on, beacon light on. I don't know what that one is. Wigwag? Oh, the wigwags. Never mind, I know what that is. Sure, we can flip those on. Let's see here. I'm going to try to... Let's see here. Where we got? Oh, there we go. I'm going to crack my throttle here. I'm going to go to start power. And I think at this point... Let's see here. Fuel is on. Oh, let's turn the fuel pumps on. Oh, there we go. Now they're on. And let's give it a start. See what happens. Now the sound sounds pretty good. The sound isn't bad at all. It's got a couple weird things to it. Again, I'm not necessarily going to point those out, but there's a couple oddities about the sound. But at the same token, that was one of the things that was listed in the known issues section on the website. So again, I'm not going to point those out because, you know, that was already addressed. Let's see here. Set our barometric pressure. Okay, that works just fine. Now what happens is, as I was saying earlier, when I did the Control E, the auto start earlier, and I flipped the fuel pumps off. So I've actually noticed that's very common when you do the auto start. They'll flip the fuel pumps on, but a lot of auto starts don't turn them back off, which that's fine. It's just an observation. And when I turn them off here, even if I try to keep the RPMs up, we lost the engine. So I think that's the fuel issue that he was talking about. The other thing that I can't find, and this is why the documentation was a little frustrating, or lack there of documentation, I can't find the parking brake. So what I did is I just used my toolbar pushback, believe it or not, and released the parking brake from there. And you can see off we go. So now I do need to stop the aircraft before we keep going. Now let's go ahead and get our track IR going. Obviously that's crucial. Let me get the old headset on here. We'll be doing a giveaway on Patreon for the RJ SimTech version 3 headset. I absolutely love these things. They're so nice. Their tracking is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's the best tracking I've seen so far. 091 is our winds today, so this is the direction we're heading. Alright, and I've never been to this airport before, so actually I'm not 100% positive where the runway is. Oops, wrong direction. Okay, so we have... Ah, there it is. Found it. Okay, so it's behind us. That's to the left of us. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, let's get back in the seat. Okay, so parking brake's released. And let's turn around here. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had someone come to my door. Didn't they know I was going to fly? Gosh, some people. I'm just kidding. It was actually a really nice young man who was trying to make some honest money by repainting our address. Love seeing that kind of stuff. It's good. Alright, so let's add some power back in. There we go. And let's start. Whoa, that tail moves, doesn't it? Alright. You got a nice, beautiful evening flight here today. And we're just going to sort of fly around the airport. Oh, okay, so when you pull the RPMs way back, let's see what that visual effect was all about. Alright, so not too bad. I'm gonna keep it a bit higher. And we even looks like we get a little bit of a warning there. I'm gonna let the RPMs yeah, so they go to white. Okay, so that's kinda cool. That's good. Good little animation change of the prop. Let's turn those landing lights on, strobe lights coming on, taking the runway here. I doubt we need any flaps for takeoff in an aircraft like this. It's got the nice big old wheels on it. Reminds me of one of those short takeoff and landing or a stall aircraft. We'll have to see what it does. Alright, so let's just... Whoa, baby, don't do it. Okay, watch those toe brakes, Mike. Watch those toe brakes. That was totally my fault. Looks like it's got a decent autopilot here. Very simple. To the point here. Alright, and off we go. Altitude 3,600 feet at ground level. Off we go. Max power. Feet off the brake. Now, if I wanted to do a stall takeoff, I would imagine that we would. Whoa! Absolutely need. Whoa, baby! Whoa, baby! Whoa! Lot of left rudder. Lot of left rudder. Whoa! Okay. So I just was absolutely not ready for the. Gosh, why is my camera being so stupid? Just wasn't ready for that the torque of that prop. That's all it was, is what it felt like. He just kept kicking that nose over, and I wasn't expecting to be quite so aggressive, which isn't a problem. All right, so let's see. Let's come on down. We're at 23 inches of manifold pressure, 1,200 RPMs. Now, it is a simple aircraft. Oh, no, it is not. Okay, so where's that animation coming from? Interesting. Okay, so there's another confusing point for me. I don't see anything changing. Oh, hey, I should probably turn that start power thing off. Ugh, there we go. So, if I move my prop handle forward, right? Watch the RPM gauge. Okay, so here I'm taking the prop back. Now I'm pushing it forward. So it clearly works, but I don't see any animation in the gauge, or in the cockpit change. So I don't know where that's coming from. Is it supposed to be that? Takeoff, climb, cruise, hold. That seems like that's part of the autopilot. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and leave it at max for a minute. Now, do I have a mixture is what's even more interesting. I just pulled the mixture all the way back. Okay, mixture doesn't seem to be impacted, but the prop absolutely is. Huh, so make sure you have your prop bound. Alright, and let's just sort of fly around for a minute. Why do I feel like I am so close? Yeah, that's a little better. Kind of. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I don't know who I am. In the movie. There we go. That's better. So, hands off the controls here. It's just letting the aircraft do what it wants to do. We can steer with the rudders. See what it does. She's flying fun. It's fun to fly so far. Adding some power in. Should bring that nose up. Let's pull the power off. Using left rudder to straighten us out. Completely, my hands are free. My hands are off the flight sticks. It's kind of cool. Flies well. It really does. What a gorgeous scene. Let's see what it looks like from the outside. Beautiful shot. Alright, let's check out the smoke effect. Boop. I really like the smoke effect. It looks really good. Seems like a very simple plane to fly as far as Microsoft Flight Simulator goes, but this is good. Look at that. That was neat. I'm actually kind of digging this. Hard pull. Ooh, let's hope I don't put it in the ground. I think it should go straight up. I think I'm not straight up anymore. I totally wasn't straight up. That was terrible. I like the smoke effect. The smoke effect's pretty awesome. Works really nicely. And it seems long enough. Like this is one of those ones like you could, you know, draw certain symbols over someone's house that you don't like, maybe. I don't know. Uh-oh. Okay, I should probably get back in the cockpit. Yeah. Uh-oh. Baby. Oh, no! Oops. Okay, so now that I'm done wrecking my plane by not paying attention and doing very dumb things in it, let's talk about the overall experience so far. I like this as experimental. It's kind of cool. This aircraft is a ton of fun. I really do enjoy it. Seems to have a lot of oomph for such a little box here. It's a fast aircraft. It's maneuverable. It's exciting. It's a tail dragger, which we all know. I'm just dreading the landing already. You guys know that I don't have the best luck with tail draggers. But this seems to have a little bit of everything for everybody. If you're that general aviation guy that just likes to go from point A to point B, do some sightseeing, the nice open canopy here is perfect for that. If you're a guy who likes to get up and, you know, go do some twirls and loops and dive bomb cars here as we're doing here, you know, with, you know, aerobatic smoke, you know, a lot of really neat things that you could do with this aircraft. Same token, we can pull the power back and just sort of enjoy a nice cruise with it as well. So it's a very unique plane, and I really do kind of like it. I really do. Let's see what the dreaded landing is like for me, and I think that will be the final determining factor. Look at the reflections on the window here. I think that's rather nice. Now they do look like static reflections, but still, I like it. I really do. They don't seem to be dynamic. They don't seem to be changing based on the light source, but that's okay. It's still a nice touch that you don't see put in very often. And if you notice, it does change with the camera, so that's kind of cool. So it is point of view based at least, which is definitely again another big immersion piece. So we're going to try the dreaded landing of a tail dragger from Overkill Simulations. We all know, if you've watched any of my previous tail dragger landings, it's well, you'll be entertained. You'll be entertained. So let's just find out how much I can entertain you. The couple issues that were mentioned, I mean, yeah, they're there. I can hear the fuel pumps on, which I don't know if that's, again, maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe that's not the fuel issue. But I think that you're supposed to be able to turn them off, but I could be mistaken on that. But so far, everything else I'm actually really okay with. It's fun. And my biggest issue, obviously, is like we discussed earlier, the lack of documentation. That's a major problem for me. What's our wind? 090. I am totally coming the wrong way. So we're going to do a right-hand traffic pattern. No, I did not look at the chart. Hopefully nobody tells me to write down a phone number. But we all know some airports are right-hand traffic. I just don't know if this is one of them. Don't judge. Oh, no, I was right the first time. You idiot. I was looking at my freaking airspeed. I'm like, oh, the winds are 090 and I'm flying 092. Wow. It's been one of those days. You know, like, it wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a bad day at all. But you know, one of those days where you just keep doing goofy things and ask yourself, what the hell are you thinking? Yeah, that's kind of how today was for me. It was just like one of those days like, dude, get your head out of your backside. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I don't know. Oh, you know what? 090, we actually have the perpendicular runway. As my chaos continues. God. Alright, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do a left-hand turn. We're going to bring it back around, and we're going to land the damn thing before I end up in New Mexico. Because clearly I have no sense of direction today, which is very unlike me. And all of you are going, yep, sure it is. I know, I get it. All right, we're going to try dropping some flaps here. Hopefully it's not too soon. Wow, the flaps seem to work very, very well. We lost airspeed instantly there. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the next stage down. I'm sort of monitoring airspeed. All right, we're approaching stall speed. I'm going to go ahead and pick the throttle back in here. And I want that perpendicular runway, which I am turning very wide on. Bring some more power back in. I'm actually going to bring a flap stage down so we can get some of the airspeed back. Man, those full flaps, they just dump it. You guys know me and my space shuttle approaches. Wouldn't be me if it wasn't. Alright. Power coming back. Now I'm going to put that last stage of flaps in. Oof. Man, she gets loose on the ground or near the ground. Come on. I don't think we're down yet. I don't think we're down yet. Are we down yet? Dance the rudders. 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 Eesh. Come on. Come on. Ah! No! 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 Stay on! Stay on! Ah, you son of a gun! Just once I would like to have a good landing in a tail dragger. No! Oh, God. You guys are like, please, somebody stop the pain. Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing off before I hurt somebody. So, a couple of pros and cons right out of the gate, as we talked about. I do not like that there isn't any documentation. That is a major issue for me. That needs to be addressed, in my personal opinion. Checklist, something, you got to have something that tells people how to start it, how to operate it. And if I missed it, by all means, I'll keep digging. But I looked through the installation directory and I couldn't find anything. And normally I find it like in the sim objects folder. I couldn't find anything that had a documentation folder in it. Anyway, next thing, the sounds obviously of the fuel pump, pretty distracting. You can hear them pretty loud and clear, but not a game breaker for me. The overall flight experience, I absolutely enjoyed. I loved flying it around. It was fun to fly. It was fun doing those loops and playing around with the smoke. The smoke effect is really, really awesome. I really enjoyed that very thoroughly. It was really cool. It's very well done. It's probably one of the better smoke effects that I have seen thus far, in my humble opinion, if I may. Now, there is a caveat to this. If you have the Live to Air XA42, you do not want to have both of them installed at the same time at the time of this recording. At the time of this recording, there is an issue with the smoke effects where it may have an issue. So that's the only hiccup. If you have the Live to Air XA42 and you have this one installed and you notice that your smoke is weird, uninstall the XA42. This is where add-ons linker comes in really handy, guys. And by the way, if you guys use like the Sim app, to install your aircraft and you want to use add-ons linker, all you have to do is copy the folders for the aircraft out of your community folder and into your add-ons directory folder, and they'll work the same way. You are not restricted to that simply because of using like the Sim Marketplace app. So just wanted to toss that little tip out there for you guys. If you guys are thinking you're restricted, you're not. You can still use add-ons linker. And so if you're going to fly this aircraft, simply just go to your add-ons linker, remove the XA42 temporarily, and off you go. And again, that's just a bug. I'm sure that's something that's going to be resolved very quickly. So just keep that in mind. The aircraft itself, like I said, ton of fun to fly. It looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, by the way, you can also open the doors. Boom, check that out. I really don't have any major issues with this aircraft. My favorite part about the whole thing is the price point. It is priced right where it belongs. Honestly, you could probably even go a couple dollars more, in my humble opinion. But it's a beautiful plane. It's absolutely beautiful, and for the price, I have no qualms about the price for this aircraft, and that's something that I know comes up a lot, especially when we're talking about aircraft that may still be in a quote unquote incomplete stage. Bugs still need to be addressed, things like that. I know that's a big hitter for the community. I think it's worth every dime of it. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to give my impressions of this aircraft. And I'll definitely be flying it more. I had a pretty good time with it. I'm sitting here thinking of some other aircrafts that would complement it very well as well. So, as always, my friends, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Give the aircraft a shot and support the developer if you can. And above everything else, guys, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.